Hello, everyone. So, we're back with another website redesign. This is a nice project because the guy you see right here is actually the client, but it's also my own accountant. So, I took contact with him to help me with my accounting, and then actually, when we start talking, he mentioned that he could need some help with digital marketing. So this is always a very good type of collaborations or like partnerships, you can call them, where you can help them, you can help you, and then kind of exchange services. Of course, you can still pay, but you can still like make a nicer deal, of course. But that's another conversation. What about that? So into the actual design. So let's first go over the current, I was going to say, but the website is live, so the old website. So this was built on Wix. Of course, Wix has a few interesting USPs where they, of course, cater towards business owners who just want the website up and running. I'm definitely not a fan of Wix, but it makes sense as you're like doing websites. Wix is not nice at all, but if you're just a business owner who just wants something up, it's probably a lot cheaper because you don't pay for development and all the stuff. You just pay for the subscription. But yeah, like long term, I'm not too big of a fan. I've worked around a few times in there. It's a very simple builder, but of course a little bit more limited. But yeah, if you just want something up and running, it makes sense to use that. So that's what this client did. He kind of built like a web landing page. Sorry. So it's like a one pager, to be honest. He has like a blog section, so that's like second page you could call, but the rest is like just going into sections. Starting off, very nice pictures. I think I told them as well, as in this is super helpful for a good website. This is nice pictures. Even myself, I don't even have good pictures. Of course, I'm just me, so it's hard to kind of have like a cool picture of the team. But yeah, there's no excuses. They're always good to have these kind of pictures. So that's definitely a plus. This is interesting as well, right into the services. So this means consulting, accounting, and then courses and like teaching. So this is good. However, this is it. There's no text, so all the call to actions go towards different parts. So this is a calendar, which is nice. This is like better than most people. But these two buttons just go to like the contact section within this website. This is well contact. So even though the thought is good, like there's no text, there's nothing here. So definitely SEO wise, we need some content, just so we can be found on certain things. But also like in terms of like people coming to our website, conversion wise, it could be smarter to have some information, because yeah, if people don't really know what you do, even though of course accounting is very like straightforward, you know what it means and everything. If people have doubts and they don't know and they have questions in their head that go unanswered, they will just bounce from the website. So it's always better to just try to answer these questions or try to get information. Of course, people just will take contact, but yeah, we're talking about like on a bigger scale. We just want people to take contact and convert from traffic to actual leads. So in that case, we need a lot more information. So that was like point number one. This part is nice. Again, the professional pictures come back, which is super good. Reviews is very nice, and then these numbers are good if you have some good numbers to show. Like this is like 60 years of experience, of course, to people. So that's always a very good thing. Contact is very simple, and then that's it. So there's like another small note that, for example, there's a few things like this, which just says button, nothing happens. So there's like a few things like that. This is also a little finicky, this menu. And then it's like a classic one, like these social icons just go to Wix, is like the default link, which is not like the end of the world, but I see this often, so I just want to mention that. It's kind of funny. It's easy to forget as well. And then there's the blog, which I was mentioning quick. So this is like a second page you can call, which is like, it's nice, like it's a good starting point. So yeah, like it's not, I would definitely say not the worst. Like design wise, it's a little finicky, but like content wise, it's very simple. Like is maybe the best way to put it. And we just want to build out from here. Like it's a starting point, and then from here we go on and build more content, more pages, just more longer homepage, just information basically, because this is very, very simple. Like I said, accounting is that kind of niche, you can call it, industry where people kind of know what they're gonna get anyway, so they just take contact and say, I need help with accounting, and then you can take it from there. But I would say there's no reason not to have more information. There's no benefit of having less information ever. So yeah. Definitely overload is possible, but I'm not talking about overload. I'm just thinking about more information. So now we'll go over to the new website. Again, built on Framer. I'm a fan of Framer. It's getting more and more interesting. They're adding more and more interesting features. So we took over the pictures. Of course, as you can see here, this is like I'm viewing this on a large desktop, so this image is kind of zoomed out. So we try to keep the quality, but we don't want to like have the best quality, because then the image gets so heavy that the website loads very slow, and that's like for me almost sometimes the main thing we want. That is like a fast website. So we kind of come back to just simple header and information, and then CTA, which is always very important. And this is all the new pages, but let's go over to the homepage. So here we talk again about actually the same services. I also asked him, let's add some more pages with services you do. So they're in a way, sometimes you could even consider them to be under like accounting or anything, but might as well write extra pages, and then for example link under accounting. You can link to these pages. So for example, this is like creation of a business, accounting control on your yearly accounting. So these two you could almost consider being accounting, which this is the accounting part, but they again are quite specific again. So it's very good to just like it's always good for SEO especially to have separate pages. So and then it also kind of fills up, because if there's only 3 services, sometimes it looks a little bit not naked but a little bit empty. So now we have a little bit more, which is good, and then I can add more services here. So that's why I added the slider. I'm such a big fan of this section, not in this website but in general. I think this section looks good, but just the section of how does it work. So 1, 2, 3. So you take contact, you get a free and like no commitment quote, and then we take contact and we start work. Again, pictures come back and they look super good, I think. And then some call to action. So get started /call us. This is back to the numbers that we like. So I took the same numbers, 16 years of experience, 110 yearly accounts handed in, and then like 75 partnerships. Took over the reviews. So as you can see, the old website definitely works as some sort of framework and like foundation for this one, because that's, of course, it's easy to get started, because often when I work with clients, they don't know what to even provide. So then I just take over all the information from the old one and just like clean up a little bit, add some pictures, because these are Google reviews, to make it a little bit more special. Even like added like these default things, because I think it shows like that they're true reviews, because they are. A little bit more call to action sections. So get a free quote, nice pictures, very big call to actions. I chose initially for a little bit smaller buttons, but the client asked because he just wants to be very user friendly. Maybe also a little bit coming back to the target audience, like business owners maybe being typically a little bit older, to make it just very easy and smooth. So some nice animations. Again, the team section, build it up so we can add some more afterwards. So we can add some on the side or / below. FAQ, which is always good. I'm such a big fan of FAQ because it's, again, I was talking about these unanswered questions. So here you can literally answer those unanswered questions. So do you offer fast pieces, like a fast amount every month? So you just know what you're going to pay at the end of the month for accounting, because especially accounting is sometimes very expensive if you do hourly. So if you can say, hey, this is how much it costs per month, again, very easy to convert people, because they're like, okay, this is what I'm going to get. So there's some simple FAQ questions, and of course we can actually add some more here, but this is a nice start. Added a blog with some nice animations. So this is kind of like a twist I did. So I called the whole blog, I'll call gratis-regnskap tips, so free accounting tips, instead of just calling a blog. Like, it's not the biggest differentiator, but I think it's interesting to kind of like make it more interesting, because people are kind of fed up with blogs. Like, okay, sure, it's just going to be a spam with stuff. So even though it could be like a little bit spammy and you try to rank with SEO, like just calling it a different twist on it is kind of what I've been doing lately. So just, yeah, again, if people search for accounting tips, this might show up, of course, if you do a good job. Further on, just like more like a footer section where we can go a little bit more again to contact, because like I said, in the accounting niche, it's just very important people take contact because they usually know what's up. Another, like the same pictures, of course, Ideally, we switch up a little bit the pictures, but yeah, it's just the amount of pictures we had. We just work with them, so I reused a few. And then this is the footer section, kind of clean as well. First had a little different color, but I played around a little bit so I could reuse this logo on the background, which I think is always kind of nice. So then that's the homepage. Like you can see, a lot longer and a lot more information. And then we made service pages for each service. We made a pricing page, which is kind of interesting, where I added like a calculator, which is very interesting. So we can keep going, kind of get a price estimate on things. So there's just a few questions about the business, and then you can get like a summary, and then you can send in this. So you get the report back of what you filled in, and then we get, or the client gets like a notification, hey, someone filled out the pricing calculator. We're playing around with this because I think if we do this well, we can definitely make something nice here, like smooth out a little bit. About us page is always nice. We definitely want to add more things to it. Let's see. Service page is interesting as well. So just pretty straightforward, but like I said, this was compared to what we had, very much more text and very much more information. And then I added this as well. So what kind of tools we are using, which I always like I like this myself more than maybe anything else, but I think it's nice because these guys, this accountant is very good at these two accounting softwares, and like he's licensed and authorized for like selling service on that. So it's very nice to also show this very clearly, especially if people then are searching for this tool, and then with Regnskap, you just have extra visibility on that. So it's always good. And then the FAQ comes back here. So that's the same for all these pages. This is going to be the blog. So accounting tips, just like adding more and more value here would be very interesting. I took over some blogs of the old websites. And then almost the most important page sometimes could be considered is the contact page. So here everything happens. In a new video, I kind of go over the background system I set up for this, because I embedded a form from a tool it's called Go High Level. And there I can kind of build a whole database and a CRM and marketing platform for the whole backend of this business, marketing wise. But I'll cover that in another video. So that's kind of interesting as well. So every time people fill out a form, they automatically get into the database. And then that's basically the website. There's a few more like service pages, but they're all the same in a way, so they're not so interesting. So yeah, I see there's 2 about us pages, so that's not good. So we have to fix that. So that being said, I think that's just a quick overview of the website that just got launched. If you have any questions, let me know. This was just another redesign where I kind of go into more like my own psychology behind it, and seeing what was good in the older one, what can be better on the new one, and just like a way to kind of go for myself as well, like do like a feedback session for myself, which is always good. So yeah, see you in the next video.